Alright boys, this is the cheapest e-bike out right now. I've seen these popping up all over the internet, and today we're going to find out what the hype about these bikes are as we test and tune this bike and see what it's really about. Like I said, we're going to be tuning this bike. That's right, tuning an electric bike. It's going to be some modern day tuning. It's not going to require us turning screwdrivers to a carburetor. This is literally how we're going to make this thing faster. This Bluetooth dongle supposedly plugs in somewhere. We're going to connect our phone to it, to an app, and we're going to be able to tune this bike. From what I've seen, we could get up to about like 10 miles per hour more. This is a Tuttio Soliel 01. Now this is a little bit more on like the miniature side. I guess you can compare it to like a Sur-Ron or anything like that. Usually a bit larger and definitely bigger wheels. This one has a 12-inch in the back and a 14-inch rim up front compared to the typical about 20-inch. Now it's not super small. It still kind of looks like a little bit average size bike. This is kind of like the modern e-bike version. It kind of looks like it. Size-wise and speed-wise, they're about the same. Anyways, yeah, we have fully assembled this bike, as you can see already. This bike is pretty crazy because with modern day things, you can literally order this bike on Amazon and it will show up at your house in a few days. Throw some handlebars on, tighten a few bolts, turn the key, and then it's pretty much ready to rip. Pretty much the cheapest e-bike right now. This feels pretty good, so we're gonna get a lot of testing here in this video, but let's go back to when we first picked up this bike.
MOPBOYZ. When that two-stroke pop, tell me who want to smoke with us. 12 o'clock on your block, this Zuma scraping, it won't stop. Make these 70s rip, this caster smell like piss. In that balance point can't miss. Get behind me, throttle up.
As you know, we are big on gasoline bikes in this garage. As you can tell, everything we have is a gasoline bike, and not just gasoline, but strictly two-stroke bikes. As the world has come to with vehicles, cars, everything is going electric. And a little bit ago, maybe about 2 years ago, we tried to get an electric bike on this channel, and it lasted like a month or so. It just wasn't worth the fun for the price tag that it had. At that time, I believe I had the Sur-Ron and it was like $4,000, I think. I don't even know how much they are now. I pretty much was into it, got a few parts for it. It just wasn't worth it for what it costed. But I will try anything twice. Today, we went with the most budget option that I could find for an e-bike, and that is what we got over here in this big box. Luckily, FedEx was nice enough to hold this for us for the last week because we've been on a road trip with the scooters. If you haven't seen that video, go watch the ferry to ferry videos. Damn, this thing's kind of heavy. I'd consider it a mini e-bike, if you will, but it is definitely smaller than the Sur-Ron that we had in the past. I think that'll make it a little bit more fun. Who knows? Maybe it'll make it a little bit more uncomfortable. I don't know. Let's move some of these bikes out of the way. It's kind of a bigger box than I thought. Random side note, the Oregon bike is now in Vegas with us. I believe this is the first pre-bug I had an actual 70 kit on. I had a couple stock ones, but my first built pre-bug that I had, pretty much the reason that really got me addicted to these bikes. But I left this in Oregon for the longest, so when I travel up there, I have a bike there. We didn't make the stop on the way back to drop it off, so now it's in Vegas. Soliel 01. They couldn't have made it harder for me to pronounce. I'm so bad at pronouncing things already. Thank you, Tuttio, for sending this out and letting us try this thing out. I'm not a hater on e-bikes, but I'm definitely not sold on e-bikes. Like, I had mine and I was just like, it is what it is. And like I said, it just wasn't worth the value. We're gonna see if this one's worth the value because this is about a third of the price I think I had into mine before. We are getting this Tuttio unboxed, and boys, I think this is the first time I've ever had a bike brand new. Even the last e-bike I had a few years ago, we got used off Facebook Marketplace. So I'm looking at this box like, wow, this is how things actually arrive when you order them brand new. It was pretty cool to see this thing all boxed up and actually still partially put together and assembled, yet only having like the handlebars and the front wheel and small little bits off the bike. So very easy. So let's strip this foam off, tear this box apart, and get this Tuttio on the ground so we can get this thing fully assembled and out on the road. Tuttio. Included in this box also comes a full toolkit with some zip ties for your number plate, a front fender, we got a rear fender as well, a bunch of hardware with some instructions to look at exactly what bolts go where, a crossbar, foot pegs and all the necessary parts for that, front shock guards, a number plate like I mentioned, stickers, and of course a charger, the most important part for an electric bike. First thing we're doing is throwing the handlebars on, so we're setting those on there and kind of getting these hand tight in here, just kind of snug. That way we can lift it up and get the front wheel on there. So that's exactly what we're doing here. Tighten these things in by hand first, and then we're going to come in here with an impact with the Allen wrench to that and kind of just snug them in. We're not going to know the exact adjustment until we get this on the ground with the front wheel on, so I'm kind of just snugging them for now, and then we'll move them around as we get the bike assembled. We have the brake levers going on as well, and tighten those on there. And of course the throttle. Slide that thing on, peel that bad boy off, and bam, look at that thing shining in all its glory. We'll tighten that thing on there, and then of course actually look at the instructions after we assembled 90% of the bike, just to make sure we are actually doing everything right. We got the front fender thrown on now, and those bolts kind of just run right under the triple tree. Tighten those up, and then we're kind of looking at a little bit of a goofy front fender in my opinion. It's kind of flat and oddly shaped, but I don't know if I like that. Couple bolts here for the foot pegs on each side, and then we have to actually put the spring and the peg on itself, which is kind of easy. There's only one way the spring kind of fits on there, and then you kind of maneuver it into the mounting area with the spring preloaded. After that, once you get that aligned, just drop the pin in there, throw a cotter pin on the other side, and bend that cotter pin around the pin itself, so that way it doesn't fall right out, and then you are good to go. Same setup you would do on any other bike, a dirt bike, etc. Same deal for any foldable foot pegs. And we got those bad boys working now. So on to the next step. We are getting everything tightened up just to make sure nothing falls off. Even the rear, even though it came assembled, I wanted to make sure it's tight. Last thing we got for the handlebars is the crossbar. Throw that on there. Tighten those bolts in, and looks way, way better. Repping the Tuttio crossbar right there. Last thing we need to do is get our battery set in there and actually make sure that bad boy's plugged in. Tighten that thing in there and throw the seat on. Easy enough, boys. We have fully assembled our Tuttio bike. Okay, yeah, it's got some, oh, we gotta put air in these tires. It's got some power. I cannot believe we are about to tune this by this little thing right here. All right, we gotta ride this thing in its stock form, and then obviously we'll plug in the tuner and see what this is gonna be all about. The only thing I don't like right off the bat, I'm gonna be honest with you, this front fender. This thing is hideous. I don't get why it's flat like that. The actual frame and everything of this bike looks pretty cool. I do like the way this bike looks other than that, so. Are e-bikes mad illegal to ride on the street now? Are cops strict on this? The Tuttio is all right. We're sitting at, we're only hitting about 35 miles per hour right now. What does it say it hits? I thought it hit more, honestly. I mean, it's cruising, but it's nothing like crazy. It's got the torque off the line. Definitely got potential to make this thing faster. Terrible setup here for the phone mount. There was nothing to bolt it to, so I actually just zip tied it on there. I'm gonna give it a little bit more slack because the battery is not fully charged. We're 1 bar down on the battery right now, but it sounds like it's maxing out anyways. 35 miles per hour. It's reading the exact mile per hour. At least we know the draggy and this are accurate. Oh, we got another e-bike. Let's see. Let's see if he's faster. Dude, he's got pedals. What's up, bro? What's the top speed on that one?
Like 30.
Oh, okay. Let's go, man. On the Tuttio, smacked him, bro. Alright, I'm gonna have to say that it might be a little bit slower right now with the battery being 1 bar down now. But you know, electric stuff, that's where they come to play right there. That is one comparison from electric to gas right there. Gas is gonna be the same all the way till you're out. But those electric bikes, they definitely are a little different when they're on a full charge, you know? Smoke them. Let's get this thing tuned up. Let's get this battery at a full charge. Let's see what this Tuttio's really got to offer us. We ripped the battery back out of the Tuttio so we can get this thing back on the charger and get our dongle set in here. I'm not too sure where the wire runs for the dongle, so we're just taking this battery out to get it out of our way first. And this thing was actually lighter than I thought. I thought it was going to be way, way heavier. I guess a 48 volt battery is a little bit smaller, and it's actually not as heavy as I originally thought. We got our charger plugged in there. Red equals dead. We need to get this thing charged up. We also got our dongle right here ready to figure out where we're going to run that thing and get this thing tuned up. So we found out the little plug was actually in a perfect spot. We didn't even have to take the backing tray off and move it out the way like I saw on the other videos. So we simply plugged that thing in, and then we're working on getting the app downloaded right now so that we can get this thing tuned and ripping. Well, here's the problem with electric stuff. We've been waiting for about 40 minutes now. Still red on the battery. So I'm at least gonna set it in the bike right now because I want to make sure this dongle thing is working, because from the reviews of it, it looks like a lot of people are saying the app is very, very hard to use. So we can't really test the dongle until we have power going to it. So in order to get power to it, we gotta put the battery in. I just want to make sure that the dongle even pops up on my app. Alright, there's our dongle right here. Let's plug this thing in. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, it's lighting up now. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it looks like something's going on. We figured it out now. I got it to connect to read it here. The only thing is, I mean, one thing I realized is that you're not going to leave this dongle in. So this dongle only gets plugged in when you're tuning the bike, and then you undo it. I was under the impression that you keep this thing plugged in. So we'll go here. Now, I'm going off these specs that I found online, and this dude got his up to like 44 miles per hour. I'll put his YouTube here on the screen. Yeah, I'm literally copying his specs. I'll put them on the screen as well, just in case you are watching this video and you want to try. But we're about to get 10 miles per hour more out of this bike right now. So, what just beeped? You heard that? Mm-hmm. Is that the bike? Bound. Okay, so 100. App isn't the best, that's for damn sure. You gotta take your time selecting these, because otherwise the app lags really, really bad. So one by one we're going through here and adjusting all these to match what this dude put on here. And supposedly we're about to get 10 miles per hour more out of this bike. If we get 10 miles per hour more out of this bike, I will be very impressed. I think right now it's like borderline. You hit that like 20 miles per hour once you start having fun on the bike, and then it's done. It runs out like right there. Size of the bike, the way the bike feels, all is great. I think it just lacks a little bit of power. So if we can upgrade this bike this much by $15, I think this thing's a no-brainer, that this is a great deal for this bike. But parameters, okay, so parameters, max speed right there, 3,500 RPM. How about 7,000? 7,000. Reverse motor direction sounds crazy. I really want to hit that button. We'll do that one later. I want to get the full test of it and let this battery fully charge before we really ride it, but let me just do just a feeler and see if we notice a difference real quick while we have the battery in there. Let's see if this Tuttio is hitting now. Your burnout now? Oh, it's faster. It's definitely faster now. I almost couldn't stop back there for a second. It kind of got sketchy. It's got definitely some more power now. We definitely have to charge the battery and see if we can get fully to like 45 miles per hour, but right there I was hitting 39 in that small distance. So yeah, we'll see. Let's go charge this thing and actually find out. Battery is full. Let's throw this bad boy in and see if it is in fact faster. Well, we actually already tested it and saw it was fast. Let's see how much faster it actually is. Let's go, boys. Oh, dude, she is a ripper now. Oh, it's a different bike. I noticed when we were tuning it, there's a lot of differences in where the RPM and how much power at certain RPM. We turned a lot of that higher RPM to have a lot more power, so I'm sure it gets the motor a little hotter. And I must say, Tuttio is not the one selling this dongle, by the way, boys. So it is not completely supported by them. So I can't promise you that it won't damage your bike. But to get more power out of it was worth the risk. All right, before we wear out the battery too much, let's see a quick difference real quick on this thing. See if we get a difference, boys. Saying 38 miles per hour now, 40, 42, 43, 45. Oh, we're hitting over 45 now. Oh, there's a cop. They don't like e-bikes. Oh, dude, we're cruising at 40 now, though. Skirt. Oh. Trying to get used to wheelies on this thing. It's still a little goofy. I like how you can hear it kind of revving. That's kind of funny sounding. That dude has a sick ass house. We're putting some miles in on her. It doesn't say the total. We'll see at the end of this trip. Put some miles in on the Tuttio. Really try her out here. I'm gonna be honest. The Tuttio is not bad. It is actually kind of sick, boys, and I'm being 100% real about that. With this upgrade, it is not bad. For this little mini bike, like, you gotta think that you're only getting like this mile per hour out of like a 110, and this is even less than a 110 cost you nowadays, bro, like a gas mini bike. And I'm a big motor guy, and I will say though, like, for being able to like rip a trail like this with your homies, bro, whenever you want, like nighttime, this thing is literally silent, bro. Oh, I gotta get used to how touchy the electric bikes are when you wheelie. I'm so used to the gas, bro. Dude, it's sick. How fast is a Suron bone stock? I'm gonna put that on the screen right now. I want to say it's like 40s as well. Dude, we are ripping on this little thing. The sizing of this is not bad. I thought when I pulled out the box, I was like, wow, that's kind of small for me. I'm 6'1". Bro, this thing is comfy. Like, I'm chilling on it. What the hell was that? Oh. Okay, I thought we broke it for a second. I definitely did not tighten this seat thing enough. Oh! It's so touchy. It's different not feeling like how the bike wants to rev. Like if you're kind of like, you know, in a boggy spot, or like, you know, it just is instant, dude. There's no like boggy spot to it. Don't know where we're going. We're down 2 bars when I'm at full throttle. Still hitting 40 miles per hour though. Before, when we were like half battery, this thing was barely doing even 25, 30, dude. We're still ripping 40 now with a half battery. There's the bridge I've been trying to find up there. I love the sound of this thing though. It sounds so sick. It sounds like straight cut gears, dude. Oh man, I was hoping this bridge was see-through. It's alright, it still looks kind of cool. I think we have developed ourselves a decent review time on this thing. Like I said, we're about 20 miles now, probably total riding. I'm gonna have to say this thing is well worth the money, and that is not, Tuttio did not pay me at all to say anything about this video. They said test out one of our bikes and let us know what you think. Dude, this thing is sick. I want to look more into seeing if there is even more upgrades that we can do to this thing. I will tell you what, boys, I would way rather have this than a dirt bike mini bike, as in a 110 or anything like that, because 110s are cool, but you're way bigger sitting on a 110 than you are something like this. Like, you can bottom out a 110 really, really easy and rip the foot pegs off, etc. This thing feels still like an adult's mini bike. We gotta take it somewhere in the dirt. Maybe we should do that next. When we get home, we're gonna have a dead battery, dude. We're not gonna be able to wait to go ride the dirt before the sun goes down today. Yo, we got any jumps around here, bro? Where's the kicker at, dude? Dude, it's still 43 miles per hour and we're at quarter battery when I'm full throttle. We're taking a lot of juice out of this bike and she's still got some to her, bro. We have made it back with the Tuttio. We are on low battery now. I don't know what the max range is on the miles, but I'll put it here. It honestly was ripping the entire time. It was ripping 40 miles per hour, even at quarter battery, all the way back. I honestly think that this mini bike is actually worth it for the price that it is, because we're getting 50 miles per hour out of a bike that's $1,200. That is actually crazy compared to what we do to get 50 miles per hour out of scooters involving an entire motor build. We just plugged in a Bluetooth dongle, clicked a couple buttons, simple as that. I'm excited to see what we do next with the Tuttio. We're definitely gonna take this thing out in the dirt and hit some trails on it. I just wanna see if we can get this thing upgraded and ripping, and now it does. So now we can go take this thing out and try some more things on it. So let me know what you wanna see down in the comments below. That is gonna do it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.